Alright, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen this before, knows what to do. Really quickly, put your cards in front of you. Put your cards in front of the box when you get them up here. When that yellow turns blue, that means the computer read your card. You can follow along with the chip counts. You can follow along. Now, no headphones or communication devices. Did they already take your phone?
Yes.
Alright, good. Update your table on Facebook and Twitch. I'm ready when you are. Oh, you need another rest? Whoa, I'm getting food. You play better when you're hungry.
Alright, dealer. 2044, you stop off a deal.
Thanks for letting me know.
40.
Is any of this any of yours? You'll see it's all blue. When they go blue, you're fine.
Yeah, it's blue now.
Yep, you're good. You're all good. Go ahead.
All you gotta do is just talk about like 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
I just can't see it.
10 raises to 80,000. 10 raises 80,000.
Oh, baby, wait, you're really.
2 folds, 3 and 4 folds.
Relax.
2 folds, 3 folds.
Yep. 6 folds. 7 folds. Nine calls.
Alright guys, we are back and picking up the action on the turn. As you see here, Russell raised it, Hayden called from the big blind, and Hayden does check the flop, and Russell raised it under the gun with the ace-10. Hayden defended queen-jack. Yeah, if Russ bets here, I can't see Hayden not getting his chips in.
10 bets 80,000.
And he does bet. Hayden moves all in. Hayden part of Team Lone Star here. And you gotta love it when you move in with middle pair and a straight draw and the guy doesn't just snap say call. Especially after you raise under the gun and that flop. And again, as I told you guys, we have a brand new feature table. I'll introduce all these guys after this hand. I was having a little trouble getting logged in. And Russell is going to make a very disciplined fold, very good fold. So, new players, new guy beside me. If you guys could see his smile right now, you would know exactly who it is. It's Mr. Jonathan Gavallo. Welcome, sir.
Oh, thank you, Ray. It's an honor being here.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you wanted to do today, wasn't it?
Absolutely. You know, I had so much fun commentating yesterday that I decided to end my time in the tournament today and
Yeah, for
come
those
hang
that
out
don't
with
know,
you for a
he
little
did
bit.
bag, and he ran up a little bit of a stack today, and unfortunately busted, and we had him on the live stream earlier, so you guys got to see him. You can make fun of him right now if you want. Come at us in the chat and tell him how bad he played.
I'm ready for it. Let's see it.
And again,
2 raises to 100.
new players here. Seat 1 is the guy that bagged the chip lead, the overall chip lead for the 4 flights, Chan Pelton. I believe he's from College Station, Texas.
Yes, sir. And he is a character. Let
He
me
is
tell
a
you.
character. He spent more time on day 1 trying to collect last longer money than he did playing, and bag chip lead. A lot of those chips came straight from my stack, by the way. And Shane raises it under the gun here with 2 threes, and Russell moves it in from the big line with ace jack. And Shane is not afraid to put chips in pots.
So let's see who's gonna win the flip. Got
And
ace
they're
jack
off.
versus threes.
Russell with the ace jack, Shane with the threes, and as you see how close these percentages are here, that's going to change a lot.
I like chances.
Yeah. Russell's going to need running sixes or running ace or jack. Does not get it. Russell's out. Good game, Russell. So when the stream started today and you were on it, there was about 5 out of 7 hands that 2 threes won the pot.
Really?
A lot of it was just raise pre-flop and threes won. And I said threes were going to be the hand of the day today. And there's Chan picking up the threes, flopping a full house. Just no sweat. That's be nice when it happens.
No wonder I busted. I didn't see threes a single time today.
But there you go. Yeah, so we introduced him. He won a hand. Let's see if we could keep that trend going.
Next
In
up is
C3,
Chris.
we have Christopher Birchfield, good friend of ours. That's Miss Kelly Ivy coming to talk to him.
What a lucky guy.
Yeah. He's probably not going to win this thing because he'd rather talk to Kelly than play poker. And
Can you blame him though?
Nope.
It is the
Full
legendary
center
Kelly
guy.
Ivy.
Christopher Birchfield, obviously from Houston, Texas. I think somebody needs a clock. Seat 4, Tom Hudson. He's from Iowa, lives in Kansas City now. Came down here just for this tournament. He has been here all week. This is his 3rd or 4th final table. He's been crushing.
That's very impressive, Ray.
The next player is Alexander. Not gonna lie, I have no history with him. Obviously, he's got to be a good player to be in here at this point, battling out with the rest of these legends. Over in the 7th seat, we have Brandon Virgin. Brandon is a good buddy of mine. He came to town again just for this tournament and do escape rooms. That's literally the reason he came to town. Great guy, great player. He actually went to Aruba with us and played the tournaments there. So,
Man, Ray, tell me more about Aruba.
buddy, you should have come to Aruba. We're going to do it again.
Count me
And
in.
the last player needs no introduction. Hayden Fortini. I hope I just said that right. He part of Team Lone Star, captain of Team Second Place.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, he actually came to this table with the short stack, and you see there, he's up to 625K, and it folds to him on the button, and he's going to get in the Queen Jack, and he should be able to get this through.
Just added 100,000 to his stack.
Yeah, and he is no longer the short stack at the table. So he picked up the first hand dealt. He flopped the middle pair and open-ended, got it in, and was able to get a fold out of Russell. And then this hand. So all these pots are very important with his stack now. And the player in the big line right there, that's Tom Hudson. He is the short stack now at the table. And there's still about, I think, 28 players left after Russell just busted.
I believe you are correct, Ray. So we've got a
It's
couple
got to be
of...
frustrating being the short stack at the table and looking down at the 7 deuce off the big line. Especially knowing these players that are there, you're not getting a lot.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Chan's ever folded a button in his life.
No? I think Shane was on a penalty one time and still was able to raise on the button.
It's a talent.
I'm not raising the best hand. I'm not raising.
Yeah, so there's either 28 or 29 players left. When we get down to 27, they'll break another table. We'll be down to 3 tables of 9 at that point. And
Shin over here waking up with the real hand. 2 kings in the cutoff.
yeah, unfortunately for Shane, doesn't look like. Oh, Big Blind has the queen 10 of diamonds. He should be able to get a little bit of action from Mr. Alexander here.
C2 raises to 100,000. C2 and 3 fold. Excuse me, C3.
Okay.
Now we have our next pay jump actually coming when there's 24 players left. So they're all guaranteed $2,500 right now for a $600 buy-in.
Mr. Alexander does defend his big blind with off the C flop.
C6 check.
Oh boy.
Good game.
I mean, can Shane run any better?
He has a luck box.
He flops a full house in back-to-back times that he has a pocket pair. And Alexander getting a little tricky, gonna check it a second time.
Chan just hoping he has something.
Yeah, that's obviously a board where your opponent's gonna have something a lot of the time. And Alexander's hoping that Chan has something. He's not gonna like it when he figures out Chan has what he has.
C6 call.
Oh, and wow, that might actually save Alexander. And it makes Chan's hand go from being just incredible to, well, I hope he doesn't have anything anymore. Bet turn, please have an ace. And he's still going to put a value bet out there. If that river's not an ace, then if that river's not an ace, Alexander's going broke.
Very fortunate river for Alexander.
Yes, that pot could have gotten a lot bigger.
After you turn over the hand, I'm gonna high five Brandon and Tom.
And yep, so 27 players left, so they'll be breaking a table now. We're gonna bring a couple more.
A couple of pretty big stacks at this table today. So
Yeah.
between Chris and Chan, got quite a few big ones.
Got Shane over 2 million now, Chris at over 1.5 million. Everybody else below $1 million. And let's see what full house Shane's gonna flop here.
2 fold.
Oh, no full house for Shane, so he's gonna fold.
Just having mercy on the rest of the table.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good strategy to only play the hands where you're gonna flop a full house.
I can't argue with that. It's usually what I strive for, but I think Chan's a little bit better at it than I am.
Shane is proven to be extremely good at it. And Tom gonna raise it with a 4 or 5 on the button, get a couple folds. He needed that pot.
Well done. $27 minutes left of 20,000, 40,000.
And there you see the big blinds there, chained with 50 big blinds. And the bottom 4 players on the table have all about the same stack.
Start 3 dozen chain and go on road. Me, how you? Like you do.
Two folds, 3 folds.
And as you see here, the blinds that go up, it's at 40,000 big blind now. That means you have to put 40,000 in for the ante and 40,000 in for your big blind. So Tom's gonna raise it up with the queen jack here. And Brandon on the short stack with 2 sevens
7 raises all.
does put it in here. Hayden will now have a pretty easy fold.
I imagine Tom will fold as
I
well.
imagine Tom's gonna fold. He'll probably get a count, make sure Yeah, make sure he's making the right move first. But always hate Ray's folding.
It's painful.
It is.
You can't win when you fold, Ray.
Can't. I always say folding's for quitters.
I don't feel like you quit very often.
I don't like to quit. And that's why I've been here all day and not on day 2. I'm out here trying to make pairs, and people like Shane are just flopping a full house every time they look at 2 cards. Had a lot of fun though. Even though I didn't bag this tournament, I put a lot of hours into it and had a bunch of fun with it. Folds around to Hayden in the small blind. And what do you like to do here with hands like this when you have somebody like Chan in the big blind?
Oh man, you know Chan, he goes through a lot of emotions, so a lot of times I'll complete here, but sometimes, depending on how aggressive he is and how gambly he is, just fold.
Yeah,
But-
folding definitely feels extremely dirty because, you know, you're up against one player who doesn't have to have anything, and your hand's not terrible.
Yeah.
And Hayden does flop middle pair here and takes a pretty large lead in the hand. Check to let Chan bluff at it, and Chan turns the pair. He's gonna check back. Now Hayden makes a straight. Let's see if he checks it to Chan again. I wouldn't be shocked to see him check. That's 80,000, and it's gonna be a pretty hard call for Chan.
He's pretty sticky, but I think even Chan will fold here.
Yeah. Chan doesn't like to fold. He's like me. You know you cannot win once you fold your hand. But it's hard to beat much right here.
What's probably going through Chan's mind right now, or he's trying to figure out what hands he can beat. And the
Yeah.
only one I see is
He's like, how's this guy just have a 7 here?
the only hand that I could see him possibly having is Jack 10 offsuit. So
Yeah, he beats all the Jack 10s. He does have a queen, so he blocks the Queen 10, Queen Jacks, which he could also have.
and
Ultimately, he just gives it up.
he ends up making the right decision.
That's why he's the best.
I'm still in a little bit of shock that Chan didn't end up with a full house that hand. It's gonna take some getting used to. So here we have quite a few trashy hands, and I imagine it'll come down to whoever wants it the most.
Yeah, I've been saying this all day. It's, you know, hands like this get dealt a lot, and you know, it's the first person who reaches for chips, and this is why aggression is key. You know, sometimes you pick up the 8-6 under the gun, and you have to raise it and hope that it gets through. Hope that you don't run into the ace king behind you. Did that happen to you today?
Oh, somehow it did. You know, I somehow got the king queen suited to fold, but Chris, who's actually on this table right now, ended up finding the ace king. I'll probably have nightmares for days because of it.
Yeah, and I guess the graphic might be wrong. It says 27 players left. Unless they decided to go to all 8-handed tables, which is possible that they did that with 4 tables left. So I believe there might be 28 left. If there are 27, they are going 8-handed tables.
Giving the players a little bit more leg room.
I like it. Yeah. What do you prefer? What's the number at the table you prefer to play with?
I love 7.
7.
Oh yeah.
Not even 6, right?
No, 7. Whoever gets to ever play with 7 people, you know?
At
6.
the World Series, they get the 7-7-7.
I've never played that one.
You should. It's a great event. I
I've been
fired like
missing out.
16 bullets in it one year.
You should have just fired 7. Maybe that was the key.
I did tweet out on my 7th bullet that was a bullet I was going to win on. And 3 hands later, I was like, all right, going for number 8.
You lost
Now,
the
to be
3
fair,
whole
there's like
rounds.
4-day ones.
Yeah,
So, it's not like I was just hunting.
yeah. Maybe next time 7 per day.
That's a goal I can achieve.
Yeah.
Somebody to silence their phones. If you heard that big ding, they do take players' phones away while they're at this table, just to. There was an incident somewhere in California that we're not going to talk about with somebody that might have been named on stream, but yeah. So take everybody's phones away. Just
Couple of precautions.
just for the safety of the game, and they're allowed to have them on break, but not while they're playing. And Hayden raising it up from the hijack here with the Jack 9 of hearts.
Beautiful hand.
It is. And Alexander's going to give up his big line. And there you see, guys. First place, $81,720 for a $600 buy-in tournament that I was able to drive to from my house. I love this.
I all of a sudden slightly regret not deciding to still be in that tournament.
You know, still being in the tournament seems like the smart play, Jonathan.
Next time, I'll try and make a better decision.
All right. I believe you, too. And there will be a next time. Dates have not been announced yet. There will be another Lone Stars Poker Series.
2 raises.
What a time to be alive.
It is. Yeah, I was talking about it earlier with Jesse. I really feel like Houston is about to become the poker mecca of the country.
I completely agree.
I walked in the other day. I parked and I walked in and I stopped and I sent a Snapchat and I wish I would have saved the picture. There was 7 cars in a row with an out-of-state license plate, and it was like Louisiana, Missouri, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana again, and then Georgia. And they were just like side by side by side, and I was just like, I feel like I'm at a casino. You see that when you go to, these casinos like in Midwest or whatever, people coming in from out of the country to come gamble, and it was great to see in my hometown.
Such a
And
healthy thing for
Mr.
poker.
Birchfield picking up my second favorite hand.
2 kings, huh?
2 kings, second favorite hand. Can you guess my favorite hand?
Are they ones?
They are ones.
Unfortunately, everyone folds and Chris just takes down the blinds.
He's lucky Chain folded. Chain was good flop the full house.
Unfortunately, everyone, including Chan, I guess fortunately. We've got some really fun players at the table today, but we also have a really great dealer as well.
Oh, yeah. All these dealers, they come in from all over the country. World Series, not just World Series dealers. This is World Series floor staff and they're coming in here to deal.
That's just another sign that Houston is becoming incredibly healthy for poker. And Brandon getting a little creative with the 5-3 suited on the button against the ever so sticky Chan. So
Two calls. Heads up. Check.
out comes the Ace 8-7. So both players connect slightly. Brandon a little bit better. But I doubt Chan's gonna fold his gutter here. If you're gonna call with a 6-4 offsuit, we're gonna see a turn.
2-5-5.
Yeah, Chan actually has the best hand. But I'll take Brandon's hand. Obviously, neither of these guys is hoping to make a pair to win. And they go check on the turn.
There's a
And
chance it goes check on the river as well.
there is, because Chan knows that Brandon's sticky. Brandon knows that Chan is sticky, and it's like the only way either of them can win is to bet. And Brandon moves all in,
Look at that heart.
and
Just
he's gonna
no
show
fear.
him. He's gonna show him.
Great decision by Brandon.
Guys, if you're watching on Facebook, if you have any questions for either of us, you can give us, just put it in the Facebook chat. We'll check it periodically. And we have some hands here.
This is gonna
Chris
get
is big
interesting.
blind with the ace-king. Tom's short stack under the gun, and he moves it in with 2 10s. And very next to act is Alexander, also on a short stack.
Regardless of what Alexander decides, Chris is never folding his hand.
6-6 was all.
Oh, so we're about to have a three-way showdown.
And Alexander does put it in, and it's going to get to Chris, and he's going to look at his cards. He's going to lean back in his chair. He's going to ask for a count, and he's going to call.
That's exactly what I see happen.
Okay.
There it is.
He did everything I said was going to happen.
It's like you know him pretty well, right?
Yeah, I think I know the guy. And they're off. Queen 8-3. And Alexander is going to bust Tom unless he catches a 10. And he doesn't. So Alexander,
Wins a massive pot of 1.8
Yes.
million.
yes, Alexander is going to go from a short stack. Now he has 1.8 million. He is the table chip leader. And that's Chris's second massive flip
At the feature table.
at the feature table that he's lost. He was able to build it back up after the last time. Good game, Tom Hudson. I'm sure I'll see you at the bar later to have drinks. And the reason they're waiting here, guys, is because they're short-handed. They need a balance to make the tables all have as close to the same amount of people as possible. So we are getting a new player in.
So Ray,
And let's see who it is.
you know Chris fairly well. What do you think he's telling himself right now?
So himself, all right, lost a flip. There's nothing I could have done. I played my hand right. Sometimes you're at the mercy of the cards. I need to build it back up. And he will. He's come a long way. He really composes himself well. Doesn't really get upset at the table anymore. Just tells him nice hand and moves on. Yeah, he looks extremely tired. Those last 18 shots of Fireball, I guess, weren't a good idea last night.
Or they were a great idea.
Or they were a great idea.
To be determined soon.
Yeah, I need to take him an energy drink on the next break.
He's my big blind, right?
Yeah, it is. C4 is your big one.
What?
So Chris down to 845,000. Still 20 left. Working for strike.
A lot of potential.
A lot of play. So new player coming in, Richard. He's been here all week, also playing all these events. He loves to play poker.
We all have our passions.
Yes, he's a very nice guy.
You never saw it like this, but that was
He was actually at the table whenever I busted. He was just cracking jokes and having the time of his life.
He loves this. He's gonna have fun with these guys, and Hayden picking up more blinds. Hayden's the kind of player that he's just there. He's always there, and he's so sneaky.
Somehow he's always hanging around.
He's got alligator blood. Yeah, I mean, you look at Hayden, and I'm like, you know, he's on break, and he's laughing with Kim and having a good time. I'm like, how you doing, buddy? You running it up yet? He's like, oh, I got 3 bigs. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, what? He's like, comfort zone, baby. Like, let's go. So Chan with the 6s. We know he's going to flop a full house. Chris right behind him with the 2 8s.
Hopefully he finds a way to flop a full house as
Maybe
well.
he comes 6 8 8.
Hey,
That is a full house.
it is.
So Chain's going to raise it to 100. And I feel like Chris's chips are just always getting in the middle.
And it'll be interesting to see what Chan decides to do. It is about half his chips to call. And he knows Chris has a somewhat tight range whenever it comes to shipping.
And I like this. Chris 3-bet to a small amount. He didn't just rip it in. He 3-bet small. And part of the reason for doing this is he's going to do this with more hands later in the day. He knows Chan's going to see this on the stream. And now later for the spots that Chris does want to 3-bet him. And Chris has already made up his mind he's calling if Chan ships it.
No doubt about it.
But there's going to come a time later where he's going to 3-bet with a Jack 9 or something. And now Chan is going to be like, oh my God, I remember earlier when you didn't ship the 8s. And, you know, play accordingly that way.
And Chan
And
decides
he would
to
also
just,
do this with 2 aces.
Yeah, Chan decides to just make the call. So,
Yeah.
not a bad flop for either hand. Only 1 over. So, I imagine Chris is just going to rip it in here.
Yeah, Chris less than a pot size bet. And he's all in.
And Chan
And
will be at a
now
decision.
with just 1 overcard out there, and you see Chan just tapping the table like, well, I don't know what to do now. And these pocket pairs get people in such tight spots because it is hard to make a pair in No Limit Texas Hold'em. For me, anyway.
Oh, I haven't made a pair in quite a while.
All right.
Yeah.
How
Lately,
would you
I've,
bust this if you didn't have a pair?
you know, I decided to flip a coin. The ace-10 versus the 7s.
Okay. Well, they made a pair.
Oh, they did. They made a set, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Felt like I was playing poker against Chan.
Yeah, so literally chain control, chain pick call here. There's if Chan folds here, it is not a bad fold, and if Chan calls here, it's not a bad fold. You know, that's just the way poker goes sometimes.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm not escaping over with you no more, man. What's up,
Five what?
75. 575.
Right now, Chris is very relaxed. Just having a
Chris,
good
yeah,
time.
Chris is always lax. If Chris was bluffing here, he'd be lax, and if Chris had top set here, you know, he's always the same person. I know a lot of you watching know him. He's been doing the streams all week as well.
You can see your phone in 15 minutes.
Yeah, Shane asking if he'll show if he folds.
Yeah, you gotta go to the bar. Gotta go to the bar for 15.
Yeah. If you guys can hear the table chatter, Shane is just shocked. I mean, not shocked. He's just stumped. And as we've said several times over, Shane is very sticky and does not like to fold. I think he folds. What do you think?
You know, I love to argue with you, Ray, but I think I agree. So
I think part of the reason he will fold this is he knows if he calls and loses, those chips are now on his direct left and into a very good player's side.
exactly,
And he does fold.
made a great decision.
He did. Yeah, you never, I mean, not never, but, you know, it's going to happen sometimes. But when you're on the fence and your chips are about to go to a good player, you don't want that to happen. And Shane did bag overall chip lead. And they are breaking a table here, guys. That's what they're holding on for.
Look at that flow from Chan's hair. He's just showing off right now. Oh, now we get another angle.
Yeah, between Chan and Derek Contreras, I don't know who has a better hair flow.
How can people not show up to stops whenever they have the opportunity to just see such magnificent hair?
Alright guys, so they are breaking the feature table, so we will be getting some new players. So I'm sure we're going to go on break here for a few minutes.
Real professional we got around here, huh?
Okay, so they're going to have to get chip counts of everybody moving in and names of our new players. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. This isn't a full break, but we will be right back.
We'll see y'all soon.
Everyone stay here. Some people won't even be able to study. Alright. Nick, right. Nick. Alright guys, please remain in your current seats till everyone gets the regun set so you're not trying to sit on people's lap. Hang on, alright, I got Al, Nick. Al. Hey you, Al. Over here. Right? This is it right here? Yeah. Alright, just hang on for you guys. James Ryan. Derek. Ryan. Keith Norris, right.
Don't move it.
Emmanuel, McKenzie, don't leave me, guys. Just hang out.
You're not moving. You're not moving.
Richard. Mark Ellis. Joseph, Joe. There you go. And Shannon Pelton. All right, guys. 23's at the top. You're saying on 23-6, Shannon. So 23, 24, 26. 26 over there. Good for you. You're in the 6 up here, buddy. There's Cam.
Right here.
That way, people are able to see the clock, pause, and know what's going on.
And then he's got a stand.
Chan's in box 7. On here, box 7.
Eric, C1 Jeremy.
C1 is Jeremy.
1,950,000.
Alright,
1,950,000.
0. 2. N-I-C-K. 860.
Big Bree Brandon.
Brandon. B-R-A-N-D-O-N.
Everybody on mine 500,000.
Chips.
1.25.
1250. 4C.
D-E-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
E-K. What is it there?
2.005 or 2.050? 2.0?
2,000,000.
2005. 005.
Right?
Okay. I know people try to make jokes and I like don't
Five
make jokes.
jokes.
Wait,
No 5.
No, I'm sorry, 6.
okay, what is it?
What's your name?
A-M-I-R.
A-M-I-R. 1.3325.
And then chain.
I moved it, but it should be 1.435.
Yeah, it should be 1.435.
What is it, 1.435?
They're counted to make sure, but I think so. Is that right? It is, okay. Then I got
Alexander,
Alexander.
1.710.
Alexander, right?
Alexander 1710.
1710.
Whoop.
Oh. Got it again.
Okay.
12.385 right there.
Hayden 825.
875.
875 for Hayden.
Chain says 1,385,000.
Chan
385.
1385. All right. Dropper button.
Yep, you're gonna have Dave drop the button right here. 16 players.
All right.
I'm gonna block 500,000.
I need everybody's phones, please.
Yeah, just 500,000 for the draft.
Turn them off so they're not over here ringing.
Yeah, guys, we need to have all the feature table phones in the box.
Buttons in the 2-seat.
Buttons in the 2-seat, guys. Button starts with the 2.
No 5.
All right, guys. If you tuned in through the break, that was us over counting the chips, making sure our graphics are right, so we know
On camera.
how many chips everybody has.
No headphones for anybody, right?
We are down to 24 players,
We're ready.
3 tables of 8. A lot of these guys at this feature table do look familiar.
Looks like another fun table.
It really does. So we're gonna go down one by one. Seat 1 is Jeremy Tinsley out of Beaumont. I know his dad was watching on the stream earlier. Seat 2 is Nick. Seat 3, Brandon. He was at this feature table right before the redraw. Seat 4 is Derek Norman. He was briefly on the feature table earlier, then they broke the table. He had the ace queen versus a queen jack of Eloy, won a big pot, and he has right at 2 million in chips.
About the same whenever he got moved off the feature table.
Yep. Seat 6 is I don't. Okay, seat 6 is Amir. He's chip leader at the table. He's a lot of fun. Also, he's played all the Lone Star Series events 1 and 2. Seat 7, Chan, he was at this feature table, and Alexander was also Hayden. So here we go, guys. Cards are in the air. We're back to an 8-handed table, and they were all just playing 5 and 6-handed. So how much do dynamics change going from 5 and 6-handed to 8-handed?
Man, usually it's a good idea to tighten up a little bit. So with 8 people, it's a lot more likely to. You're a lot more likely to run some bigger hands. Like here we see an ace queen from Chan.
All this stuff.
And as we progress throughout this table, it's very likely we'll see many more of those larger hands overall.
Yep, and you see Brandon folded the king jack to. Oh, never mind. Chain 3-bet all in. Okay. I didn't realize Amir had opened. I thought Amir was big blind. So, yeah. And Amir's obviously going to fold him. Amir, like I said, chip leader at this table. It's the first time he's been on the feature today.
But the hefty stack of 3.2 million now. It's almost 100 big blinds. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, and that graphic might have been wrong. It said clock was paused. I don't think clock was paused. Yeah, 81 big blinds for Amir.
Hey, Jeremy, look up at the screen. If it turns blue,
And we see Hayden here picking up the ace jack. And Brandon also with ace jack. If Antoine, if you're watching right now, this has to be giving you a heart attack.
10 rated.
What
It's,
happened there?
90,000.
Antoine's a good friend of Houston Poker. He runs the Houston Poker Live Facebook page. He helps put on a bunch of events and stuff. He preaches you should always just put ace jack in the pot. Do not put any chips in the pot.
3 calls.
And he is going to see a raise and a call.
He's got to be having a heart attack right now.
Yes. He's not loving this hand.
6 folds.
So here we have a flop of king 5-3.
Yeah, and this flop, as you see, they're both 50-50. There's no way for either of them to win the other one at showdown, to beat the other one at showdown. So this pot's always a chop. Neither one of them has a running flush draw at all. So unless somebody folds, this will be a chop pot. And you know what they say, right?
Everyone loves a chop pot.
Hayden does not want a chop pot as he's reaching for chips.
Are you telling me he doesn't love a chop pot?
I'm telling you, he doesn't want to chop this pot.
Okay. I have a feeling Brandon loves a chop pot, though.
You call.
It looks like Brandon is putting chips out there, yeah, and he makes the call. Now that 3 on the river, it's you know, one of those spots where when you have ace jack here and you call thinking your ace side's good and that they might have a lower ace, and then the 3 comes and now you're chopping with your lower aces. But yeah, they go check. It's good. But when the 3 comes, it's just such a bad card for you because you didn't improve your hand unless your opponent has ace queen.
And blinds will be going up here shortly, right after
Alright,
this next
viewers,
game.
please hang around. We're going up 25-50
Yeah,
level.
you hear Brian?
25-50. Yes, sir.
And you're smart.
And a full table, and look at all these monsters.
Just as I predicted.
10 folds.
You did say that on a full table, you're going to run into a lot of monsters.
1 fold.
Nick has a pretty big hand. 2 7s when it's folded to you in the hijack. You're loving your chances.
2 raises. 250.
He's going to raise. And Amir likes to play a lot of hands and has a lot of chips right now.
There's a decent chance we see a flop here.
And I'm not sure how much Amir and Chan have played with each other. If they played a lot, Amir just can't be liking his position on Chan because Chan is so sticky.
Yeah. It really makes it tough to play against him.
Alright, there you see 25, 50,000 blinds and 23 players up. That means somebody busted on one of the 2 outer tables. See our friends Chris and Dara in the background right there.
This was the first time I ever played with Dara, and I was thoroughly impressed with how well he played.
Yeah, Dara's a great guy. He plays all the tournaments all over town. He loves it.
So we love with the game.
10 folds. 1 fold.
We get a few folds here.
2 folds.
Brandon with my favorite hand, Jack 10 suited.
It's so beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
You see Derek wearing his cape.
6 calls. 7 folds.
Amir defends his button with the 8-7 suited. So,
Also a beautiful hand.
oh, absolutely. If we get the right flop, we could have some fireworks.
I definitely agree with that. And, okay, I thought Alexander defended. He did not.
We have a flop of Queen 9-4.
And look at these percentages. Brandon is 84% to win the hand with Jack High.
With Jack High? Wow. I wish I had Jack High right now.
Jack High, and he's 84% to win.
See, that's why it's my favorite hand.
There you go.
What's that? Yeah, we can use that.
It's a lot easier to go.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. After this hand, we'll switch it for you.
You want to talk?
And Brandon bets 125. Amir also is a very sticky player, thinking about doing something, and he just lets it go.
It's the right choice here.
Oh yeah, and I know a lot of you probably think, oh, he's just like tanking because he knows this is stream, he wants his TV time. No, he was actually thinking about doing something. I played a lot with him.
He's a very creative player.
Yes, and he will make moves. And he's a lot of fun. Even when he loses big pot, he's the same way. He laughs, has fun.
Those are always the best people to play with.
I agree. Win or lose, when you're the same way, it makes me love you even more. Jeremy with the discipline, folded the 5 high under it again.
Incredibly impressed by that.
3 full,
Not everybody can do that.
5 full. Six raises.
Folds are on
5
to,
7 full.
I think Amir put a raise out there, it looked like he did.
Yes, he did. 105,000.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to be letting a hand like this go from the cutoff with his massive chip stack.
Will Hayden defend here? That is the question.
I like to defend here from Hayden.
I do too.
10 calls.
It's
I like
not an
to-
auto defend with his chip stack,
Heads up.
but he has a hand that could connect well with flops.
Check.
And there he flops bottom pair,
And
a
backdoor flush draw.
plethora of backdoor outs.
Have you been reading the dictionary lately?
Actually, I have.
I can tell.
65.
I read all the P sections.
Why'd you start there?
That's where I got plethora.
Ah,
But yeah, as we said, Hayden with
10 calls.
the middle pair, running straight outs, running flush outs,
running boat outs.
and boom, straight flush draw.
Look at that.
But he's now behind in the hand
Amir
because
did
Amir
take the
does turn third pair. Hayden now has fourth pair. And this is gonna go check here on the turn a lot. Had it come, say, the 4 of clubs, Amir might have bet again.
No,
You know,
let's-
Amir's gonna bet.
very
Give his
aggressive
hand
player.
a little protection.
Trying to determine just how much money goes in the pot overall.
Yeah, let Hayden try to fold. Oh, he bets 280K.
That's a large
That's
bet.
a big bet. And now Hayden on 700K. That's a huge portion of your stack to call on a draw. But
It
his
is a
draw
very big
is
draw.
massive. He has a pair, he has a straight draw, and he has a flush draw.
Straight flush draw.
And he has to figure if he hits any of his cards, he's going to win. And he goes all in, and Amir
Very
with a
good
snap
decision
fold.
by Hayden. I'm thoroughly impressed by
Me
that
too.
decision.
The person that put in was the aggressor was the one with the worst hand on each street. I love poker. Very good move, Hayden. And now look at Hayden. He's up to 28 big blinds.
That was a massive pot for his chip stack.
It really was. And Amir bet so much on the turn. He, you know, he's wishing he bet a little smaller.
He really made it look like he was committed to that hand.
He did. And I know Hayden has a lot of experience with Amir over the last 2 series here.
3 folds. 5 folds. 6 folds. 7 folds.
Folds around to Mr. Alexander on the button with a 9-7. And as you see, all these stacks are getting pretty deep now.
9 raises.
Chips are consolidating.
110,000. 10 folds.
How would Jeremy decide to play this hand here? A 6-0 is a very tricky hand.
Yeah, it's such a tough hand to play. I wouldn't be shocked if Jeremy just folded here. He's out of position. He could take initiative with a ace blocker and 3-bet and hope to take it down. I don't think he's going to want to play this hand post flop, but he could also just call and see the flop. I mean, there's so many times where you have a hand where you could literally play it and not make a mistake.
No
And
wrong
this
decisions.
is one of the times. It looks like he's grabbing raising chips.
1 raises.
I like this decision a lot.
7
That's what I would do as well.
I do too, and that's good to tell Alexander, like, look, I'm not going to let you raise my big blind from the button every hand. And Alexander had a good hand to do it with,
If you're the
too.
last one for $100, raise your hand.
9 folds.
Alright, thank you for.
Once again, no wrong decisions that hand. From either player.
Yep, and that's what poker is sometimes. It's, you know, people say it's a solved game. It is not solved by any means.
Unless your name's Ray Henson.
And that's why I'm in the booth and did not have. There's people that are playing right now that have put less hours in this tournament than I have.
That's a tough feat.
And I do
You
not
should be
think
proud
they
of
do.
that.
I am. I'm very proud. We see a couple pocket pairs popping up on our screen.
3 folds.
And as we have said several times over, Shane does not like to fold pairs.
At all. So he'll be raising it up
Yeah,
here.
especially when it's folded over here in the hijack.
You're good now. You're good.
Be an interesting decision from Peyton whenever it comes to him. So,
7 raises to 1.
nines are a massive hand, especially against Chan. But it's always a little tough to put in your entire stack whenever you have 1.4 million.
Yeah, they're on the Facebook feed talking about this table, and they said there's legends everywhere. There really are. All these
9
guys.
calls.
So Chain raises it with the 5s. Now Alexander calls from the cutoff with the Queen Jack. And I expect a 3-bet here from Hayden. And
10 raises all in.
And there it is.
yeah, and he's not messing around. He just ships it in.
One fold.
This is very likely to get through here.
Yeah, it's very likely to get through, but also wouldn't be shocked to see Chan call. Like I said, he doesn't like to fold a pair. I think he ultimately will. But he's not going to be happy about it.
7 fold.
And yeah, Alexander's obviously
9
fold.
fold.
There's down the fourth. What fold it? You don't want to play post box, ever? Relying on the deck.
You guys play.
There's gonna be a tough one to win, bro. I'll tell you that.
You're gonna be tough, man. Don't know the answer to that, but I will.
So here, Chen's dealt 5s again. I'm sure that if it folds around to him, we'll see him put in a little bit more chips. So
6 fold.
I imagine it'll work out a little bit better for him this
Give me
time.
back off the table for me, please. Thank you.
7 raise. 925,000.
There's his raise.
9 fold.
Hayden with the 8-6 off, going in the muck.
1 fold.
Same for Jeremy. Nick.
2 fold.
Then let's see how sticky Brandon is here. Tiny little suited connectors,
3 fold.
but he knows how difficult it is to play against Chan, so he tosses those in the muck as well. On to the next hand. 26 minutes left in this blind level, so still plenty of play left. Still some pretty deep stacks. I'm just excited to see all the poker left.
Double block it. Jeremy.
So here we have quite a few mediocre hands so far, so expect we'll see quite a few folds to start off.
Yeah, earlier in tournaments, you can see people messing around with hands like these, but as it gets deeper, the chips mean a lot more, and the equity of each chip won and lost is so much more than, you know, in level 4 of a tournament, when this doesn't really mean much.
1 fold.
So here we'll likely see a raise from Nick on the button.
Yeah, and with Nick's stack, I wonder what he would have done had Jeremy had something open here.
190,000.
But as you see, that didn't happen, and Derek in the big blind is a very sticky player, but I don't see him doing anything here.
Thank you.
$35 million chips in with an average stack of 1.5 million. We're still leading the table with 51 big runs. Chan starts off under the gun here. And he has trash. Pure garbage. So he just tosses it in the muck. Phenomenal poker.
9 fold.
So we get a few more folds. Hayden with my favorite hand again.
10 raise to 120.
He decides to raise it up. Definitely proud of him.
1 fold.
If I ever see that hand going in the muck, a little piece of me just cries.
2 fold. 3 fold.
Derek is a very aggressive player, so there's a chance we'll see him 3-bet here.
6 fold.
But he decided to stay out of the way, and I don't blame him. Hayden's got a fairly tight range, so I'd probably toss it in half as well.
There's 5 jacks in here. Jack. Yeah.
It's pretty deep here after this feature table still, so. On to the next hand. Alexander starting off with the ace-9 offsuit under the gun. Decides to muck it.
10 fold. One fold.
Not the most beautiful hands out here this time. So,
2 folds.
see who really wants it.
3 folds.
Imagine Derek would put in a raise here.
5 folds.
He surprises me. Mirror completes. Chan decides to go the aggressive route with 7 deuce offsuit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't be shocked to see Chan raise in here. He has a hand that it's just so hard to make anything.
So he's definitely trying to take it down before the flop.
I only get to see a flop.
Yep. Mirror ruins his hopes and dreams.
Heads up. Check.
Jack 10-10, and Chan wants to be able to show this hand so bad.
7 bet.
I like his chances of getting a third.
6 fold.
Will he flip it over? Oh,
I told you he wants to show it so bad.
That might be the most discipline I've ever seen out of Chan. I've known Chan for quite a few years now. He's a good guy, fun-spirited, loves to gamble.
Oh yeah.
All around
All-
pretty
all-
great poker
no,
player.
no lies have been told.
Got it, bud.
Fold.
We need a bottle of water. I got a couple of
1 fold.
Oh, yeah.
2 folds.
Anybody else need water?
3. 110,000.
Yeah, and with
5 folds.
with the full table like you're talking about, you know, you expect people to tighten up there.
7 folds.
There really haven't been any hands, but you know, people are getting some of these hands in earlier position. You're gonna see a lot more folds than you would playing 5 and 6 handed. As players get knocked out and short, and the tables are playing shorter, I expect to see more fireworks.
Alexander here decides to defend with the 5-3 suited.
9 calls. Heads up. First stack checks with dark.
No one flops much of
3
anything
bets.
here.
100. 9 folds.
And
Bet and take
the-
it from
yep.
Brandon.
The aggressive player is gonna win so many more pots.
Oh my god, brutal.
That's the fucking best part of the day. Not stuffing it back in. 2 raises to 150,000. 3 folds, 5 folds, 6 folds, 7 folds.
Nick out here realizing that a lot of folds are getting through, so he decides to raise it up with ace 6 suited. He takes down the blinds. Easy game.
And again, I know we said it 100 times, $81,720 to the winner. Second place is right at 50,000. This is a $600 buying tournament.
That is incredible. If you had won that 80,000, what would you have done with it?
If we're playing 8 yards, we got the final table, one more player than the same.
Probably would have to buy my wife a bus. She was sending me while I was playing yesterday all these vans and buses that we can quote unquote live in.
2 folds,
Little converted vehicles.
2, 3, 5.
She must have been inspired by someone who likes to do something like that.
6 folds,
I wonder how she ever got the idea.
7 raises to 125. 9 folds, 10 folds,
And once again, we'll see someone raise and take it down.
1 fold,
Still 23 players left. These stacks, you see average stack 1 million. That's 30 big blinds.
It's a very good structure.
Yeah, 30 big blind stacks. People aren't flying out of there. And look at this. You see all these stacks on this table. There's 2 players under average.
What a great setup. And even then, they still have over 20 big blinds. That is a rarity. I'm intrigued to see whether Amir decides to raise it up here with that folds turn. Some of those hands that could go either way.
Raise, sorry, 6 raise to 1.
You're in no chance not
1-1-0.
Oh no. Yeah. Chainsaw. Beautiful king jack of anything.
7 calls. 9 folds. 10 folds. 1 fold. 2 folds. Heads up.
Yeah, so we go heads up with Chan in position. Neither of them flop anything. Amir checks, and Chan wisely checks back, even though he has the best hand here. A lot of times when somebody raises and it comes at flop like 5-5 deuce and they check, they're checking because they have a hand they want to get to showdown with, and Chan knows that. That's why he just checks back to king high. You see a lot of players that will instantly just fire off there because they get checked too. And Amir turns the gutter. He's going to need a 6 and a 6 up here.
Easy game.
It is an easy game for winners.
What would be your sizing on their server, Ray?
There's 345 in there. I know, knowing Chan, I would feel like if he checked twice, he has a hand that he thinks will win. So I'm going to bet like 250 and let him make a hero call. Now, unfortunately for Amir here, Chan actually has king high, not ace high. Now, I wouldn't even hate betting smaller, maybe like 125, and let Chan try to represent and bluff me off. But, and Amir bets 275, so I wasn't far off.
And even with king high, Chan is still considering it.
Yeah,
And for good reason as well.
yeah, I mean, had that river event before instead of the 6, king high wins.
And so far, Amir played it like he had ace high the entire time.
He did
so
play it like he had ace high, so I don't think Chan's going to call here, although it wouldn't shock me if Chan did call. But I don't think he will. I think if he makes a raise, it'll be like 625. But I think, again, Chan's going to think it through and find the fold. But, yeah,
there it
and
is.
like I said, you know, Chan thought that he was checking ace high down, and now he thinks he's checking ace high down. So he had to fold the king high there.
When those situations occur, you have to ask yourself, why is he all of a sudden telling a different story?
Yep. And it was a good story by Amir. He even sized it up a little bit bigger to try to make it look like I want you to fold.
Ain't no mayor. That was never the best thing. If you think he had the best thing, he would have. Oh my God, I did this.
This is a fun little group we got left. I know a lot of these guys very well.
We can hear a lot of laughing, a lot of chatter.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're business, huh? You ain't giving away nothing, do you?
And not a whole lot going on here.
Take the top down.
I'll get you one coming.
So it folds around to the button with Jeremy, and he's got the king out. So decides to throw it away. We are off to the next hand.
Hey, Davey, I just saw a status that your VBIP was 0%. Bro. You feeling okay?
Bro, I know they're talking
Were you
about
drinking last
I
night?
really know they are. I know they at least they want to. I played Jordan.
Sorry, bro.
Blinds are 25 and 50,000, which means every single round costs each player $125.
I was with
Just to
Dustin
sit at
when
the
we came in,
table.
I'm like, I looked at him, he's like,
Jake's still asking if there are any pink cards
I
on this
just
deck.
slid it over because I had to get out.
That's the kind of hands these guys have been getting dealt. We're not seeing a whole lot of pink.
Greg, you want to see if we can go rig the deck to get a couple more just coolers set up?
Oh yeah, I like coolers. I tell you what, I walked in there a few minutes ago. It felt like a cooler in there. These guys are lucky that they get to wear masks right now to keep their face warm. No, all kidding aside, it's look at this. Are there any pictures?
Friday, 1 p.m. He's like, Chris, you ready for
It's a rarity nowadays.
Chan with King Jack and Lincoln
King Jack inning, just like I said earlier.
He wrote it out before. Two folds.
We see quite a few folds. And Derek with the King 9 offsuit.
Yeah, this hand plays pretty well from the big blinds. It's a hand you can defend, especially somebody who opens wide like Chan. It's just one of those hands when you flop top pair, you're like, why did I defend? Proceed with caution.
Watching us see a bet here from Chan.
Yeah.
115. Sorry, 7.
117.
7, that's 115.
Derek doesn't want to give it up.
He's a sticky player too.
He is. I don't know if you heard the stream earlier, but I heard him in the background yell, "We just doubled up because nobody ever believes me." And I commented, I was like, "And this is why we don't." And he feels like he has the best hand here. So, yeah, he obviously was not calling here hoping to make a pair. He called thinking he has the best hand, and that 10 might save him if Chan bets, because I think he was going to call down, and Chan checks back, and the thing is, when Chan checks, Derek hates his hand even more if Chan would have bet. When Chan checks, he knows he can't bet. But when the 10 came, I'm pretty sure Derek would have just folded, because that takes out so many hands that he was ahead of that he's no longer ahead of.
Yes, sir.
He's actually got 23 players left. Amir,
You see like full stack still has 19 big blinds on this feature table.
yeah, that's just a sign of an amazing structure. And I don't know where all the face cards are. They might be at the other tables. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't see any other explanation.
Guys, thanks for tuning in on Facebook. Again, you have any questions for Mr. Jonathan Gavallo or myself, just put them in the Facebook section. We have Facebook open here in the booth. I know we said it before earlier in the week. This is like a NASA. I feel like I'm in NASA. There's TVs everywhere showing us what's going on. Pretty amazing. Great job by Eric Anderson getting this set up.
What a legend that guy is, huh?
If you guys appreciate, if you like the stream, next time you see Eric, you can buy him a Michelob Ultra.
I'll take it.
Maybe even 2.
And Brandon raised button, Amir defends. I imagine a delayed C-bet here from Brandon to win the pot.
Well played.
Chris has his hand on his head behind back there. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know what just happened, but he looked like he was in shock. And I want to say he was not in that hand because he usually doesn't show that much emotion.
In the background, we see Ray's beautiful wife walking through.
That is my beautiful wife. All right, well, here we go, guys. You guys have been asking for action. We're going to give you action.
Yeah, we held off all the face cards and just decided to
Look
give
at
them all
this.
at once.
All right. Alexander under the gun with 2 jacks and Hayden right behind him with 2 kings. Let's get around to the button, too. The button has the ace-queen suited.
And then Chan has the 10s in the big
with
line.
10s in the big line. You guys wanted action, we got action for you. I can't wait to see how this hand's going to play out.
A lot of it's going to depend on how Hayden decides to play his.
Yes. So Alexander raised a 110, and obviously we could see everything going on. We know if Hayden flats, this pot could be massive.
Yes.
Hayden obviously cannot see any of this. He's going to 3-bet to 260.
And Chan has a very interesting decision here.
And Derek,
And so does Derek.
and Derek is very disciplined. And he has played a lot with Hayden. He knows Hayden's not messing around here very often. I wouldn't be shocked to see Derek just fold here. I don't know what's about to happen. I just know this spot's about to be very huge.
Yes.
And Derek does fold.
Great
The kid's got
fold by Derek.
discipline. Now, I do not expect Shane to fold.
But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he just flatted.
Yeah, I think he'll flat.
And there it is.
And once he flats, it's going to make Alexander... He does not want to play the same versus two opponents.
No.
So I think Alexander's going to come with a 4-bet.
The only thing is, it's so tough to 4-bet jacks whenever it's against Hayden.
Exactly. And it was under the gun and under the gun with +1. We keep talking about how much tighter you have to play from these early positions. And he does. He ships it in, and
I don't blame him here.
I don't either. Hayden's obviously going to call it off, and I don't see Chain continuing.
No, Chan will get out of the way.
And
Just
just a
his-
very, very, very unfortunate spot for Alexander. You know, like I said, once Shane called, it makes it so tough. He doesn't want to have to play this hand versus two opponents. Had Shane not called, he probably could have just called versus Hayden, and I'm not saying he doesn't go broke after the flop.
But
You know,
it's-
but he gets to reevaluate, and he gets to have more information on the hands. And Shane's going to think this through. I don't think Shane's going to call it here. Shane does not like to fold pairs. But to take 10s up against two opponents who have both shown aggression.
Especially from that early position.
Yeah, and he does. He says fold, and he doesn't like it. And now he likes it.
Now he likes it even more.
Alright guys, going on next hand. 30-60.
Wow.
And it comes Jack high.
With 2 spades.
Oh, and the river's a king.
Oh, wow.
And Hayden is going to win a monster. Derek had the ace-queen of spades and would have busted both of them.
Y'all wanted action. There was action, y'all. Do you remember if Chan had the 10 of spades?
I do not remember if he had the 10 of spades.
But all around. Massive coup for
And
everyone.
just like that, Hayden is chip leader at this table.
You know, I always thought he only had 3 big ones. And then all of a sudden he comes out of
I
nowhere.
told you, he's in there laughing on break. I got 3 bigs. It's all good.
Just loving life.
And just
living
sits
it
there
up.
and he sneaks up on you. Yeah, great job, Hayden.
Here we have another big hand. This time from Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't think Jeremy, outside of 3-betting the ace side out the blind versus the button, I don't think Jeremy's put chips in the pot yet.
He's been very quiet. Very disciplined. But he's played very well as well. We're going to see a flop here. The ace king versus the queen 10 of spades over mirror. It's always so tough to fold that button. I'm a big proponent of seeing flops, so
Yeah, I love hands like this,
look
and I
at
love
that.
flops like this.
That's why you play the queen 10 of spades.
Yep. If you don't play queen 10 of spades, you cannot flop top 2 when it comes to queen 10.
That is a fact. I've tried it before, and it just didn't happen.
Jeremy's probably going to see bet this flop with 2 overs and a gut shot.
And a backdoor flush draw as well. Backdoor royal draw.
And knowing that Amir does like to play a lot of hands.
Yes. And if you think about it, even if Amir had the old Jack 10 of spades here, he would still be getting the right price to continue with the ace king. So,
Raise to 550.
Amir goes ahead and puts in the raise, trying to build the pot and win as many chips as possible. Jeremy's got a really good decision. Personally, I'd probably fold in this situation.
Yeah, I do believe he'll just find a fold here. Jeremy's an old school grinder, been around forever.
In the background, we can hear someone else busting the tournament. So
Dealer Jen with the calling for a payout. Jeremy goes forward. And down to 21 now. It might actually be 20. They might not have taken the last one off yet.
Alright, let's get you paid. Next one.
and now we're back to our regularly scheduled no face to face.
Yeah, guys, just stay tuned in. We'll have another hand where everybody has face guards, pairs of them.
We just like to save them for all at once. Whenever there's action, we want maximum action.
Two raised, right? 175, sorry.
And we did hit another page jump when at 24 players. So now they're all guaranteed 3,150.
Wow, that is a lot of money, Ray.
Yeah, they 5x our buy-in, and there's still 3 tables left.
What's that?
Awesome. So the next page jump will be at 20 players.
Oh, we got a ton already on the ground. No, I'm serious.
So Nick raises under the gun 175, and it gets to Jeremy in the big line with suited connectors, which is a fun hand to play, but when Nick's as short as he is, it doesn't make it near as enticing.
So Nick's gonna go ahead and take this one down. It's interesting how Nick has been folding for so long, and then he chooses that hand to play. Looks very strong.
And Hayden, after that massive pot, chip leader at the table. He's got to be feeling good now. Wonder if he'll be laughing any more or less than he was the previous break when he had 3 bombs.
Can he laugh anymore? That's the real
You're right.
question.
Or not.
Was that a fold on 3?
3 fold, 5 fold. 6 fold. 7
Cards on
fold.
7 folded.
7 fold.
Okay, don't forget to put the cards on 7, okay?
I'm not sure.
It didn't, it's okay.
10 raised. 140. What? 1 fold.
Here Hayden raises up the button, king four, trying to steal Nick's blind, and it works. Very, very sneaky that one. Shan out here still trying to add money to the last longers.
Yeah, Shane did ask me when I walked through there last time if I wanted in the last longer.
And you said no?
He also asked me yesterday how it felt to have to start from the beginning.
Because he busted you?
Yeah, he busted me pretty close to the bubble the other day. It's alright, we're still friends, Chan. If your tires get slashed, I don't know who did it.
7 raised. 135.
Chan out here stepping a little bit out of line. King 7 suited.
2 fold.
That's never out of line for Chan. That's top of Chan's range.
4 fold.
It is much better than some of the other hands I saw him open from that same position. So pretty sure there's one time where earlier in this tournament or something, 7 deuces.
Not gonna lie, I've opened 7 minutes off season there before.
I have as well. But I don't think I was as excited about it as Chan is.
Oh no, when Chan looks down in the cutoff or hijacking his fundamental, he's hoping to find 7 deuce.
Can you blame him though? I mean, he's just.
Jeremy finally picks up the big hand. Chan very disciplined fold. The queen 10, both black. I think Shane's asking somebody else not in the tournament to get in the last one.
10 raised to 140.
Hayden raises like he's supposed to. There's DJ Alexander coming in to examine what's going on.
One raise, 325.
Raise the 240, right?
Jeremy with a 3-bet. Hayden's played with Jeremy quite a bit. He knows he's going to be pretty tight here and that his king is not going to play very well against his range. And Jeremy, or I'm sorry, Nick wakes up with ace jack.
Is Jeremy's 3-bet would likely see a fold?
Yeah.
There it is.
I just knew with the stack, I wasn't certain if he had acted yet.
I've been wearing an hat for fucking a year.
Yeah, I think Hayden's going to find a fold here.
Thinking it over.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy fold when you have such good cards. But coming from somebody like Jeremy, I'm not saying Jeremy won without a hand as strong as he had, but Jeremy's going to be in there with really good hands quite often. And then you have to play that hand out of position the rest of the way.
There's no more time to play.
Now we're starting. I told you, once players start busting out, we'll see more action. Now we're seeing some 3-bets. So. I mean, they just happen to have kings, but
Minor
they're still
details,
3-betting.
right?
Oh no.
Tens and
And
jacks.
And
7 raised.
Shane's gonna raise with the jacks and fully expect Jeremy 3-bet here.
Very unfortunate.
Jeremy.
Yeah, Jeremy's been pretty hard down. And then he picks up the ace king and lost it to the queen 10. And then he finally goes to the queen facing a raise and he's like, oh, this is beautiful. And then just 3-bets it, takes it down. Very next hand he picks up 2 10s and now in this one he's like, I don't mind 3-betting it and just taking it down right now. What he doesn't know is that's not what's gonna happen.
2 folds, 3 folds, 5 folds, 6 folds. 300.
What do you think Chan will do here? Do you think he'll rip it in? Or?
I do think Shane will rip it in. I think, nope, it looks like he's just calling. And he didn't give it much thought either. Shane usually thinks things over. Yeah, he called pretty quick. Haven't seen the flop yet, but it looks like there's an ace out there, which might save Jeremy.
And a
Like
king.
ace and a king. And there's a 10 on the turn, which does give Chan a straight draw. I think Chan's gonna bet what's called blockers here. He's got 2 jacks to block the straight. He's gonna play pretty big bet, it looks like.
It's very big.
Oh, I thought those were 100. Those were okay.
That's more like it.
Yeah, so he bets 250, so a third of the pot.
Trying to set his price to see the river. And Jeremy here with sneaky just call.
I don't think he'll be just calling here at chain bets.
Great run for Jeremy.
And unfortunately for no, Shane doesn't have like an ace player. Or queen jack even.
Alright. Was that the second text?
And Shane's never called through.
I bought out the media about 15 times. Zero return. He is 100% return.
That's a pretty good ratio. That's one really good ratio, and that's one really bad ratio.
I don't like you doing it.
Yeah,
I think Chan's just very sad right now.
I think that's what it is. And he's like, I wonder what would happen if I would have 4-bet free, if I could have got Jeremy's ace queen to fold. He knows he's beat. I mean, against the player's side as Jeremy has been, what's he 3-betting with? Checking back flop and then calling your bet on the turn that we can beat right now. He doesn't have Jack 10, Queen 10.
And there's Chan dropping down to 1.15 million after that hand. And Jeremy stacking some chips. He's all the way up to 2.025 million. It's a pretty big pot.
Ten fold. One fold. I guarantee I can show you a minute with this follow me. 2 raise. 175. Isn't it right?
Nick raising her up with the Queen Jack offsuit. And Derek with the real hand. Ace King low.
Yeah, Derek's been pretty tight at this table so far. He's usually a very active player. Been pretty card dead, and you know the spots that he's had to play hands, he's run into other hands, like when he had the Ace Queen of Spades and would have won on Monster.
2 folds. People are so scared to play their hands, you know, like,
Yeah, now chain down to 17 bigs.
Which is still plenty to work with.
Still plenty.
Sweet with having a good structure.
Yep. I mean, it's short in this field, but if you had that in, like, you know, let's say a smaller event, that's like a one-day event, you had 17 bigs with 3 tables left, you're like, wow, I got heaps. So never worry about what you had at your peak. Just worry about what you have now. Play your stack.
Player never does anything good. Never get your chips back. Never been to.
I was wondering if y'all really had people doing it. Am I behind in the game?
In hindsight, we don't know. We can know it better. So
One fold, two fold, three fold, five fold, seven fold, or six fold.
You will not be single fold out of chain here.
Seven raises always.
They'll just be picking up the
No, on the turn he said 10. At the end of the call, he called 10.
Nine fold.
First time I got to do it on
Can't hear about that. I had.
I looked up. I wish I would have never looked up. Oh. No, I'm not worried about that.
That's the only part I heard you talking. At the end, you were asking about him. You actually called for 10.
I asked for 10. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why our referencing is that.
Dude, I'm proud of you.
It is a little.
Two fold, three fold,
Here we have some possibilities.
I shouldn't have for a 10.
So, keep four.
You fell victim to your own pride.
Don't ask me which one.
Yeah, Derek's obviously gonna raise it up here.
I had to go with it. I said, we're going
five
to
raises, 125.
That's another one of those situations where all three options are perfectly fine.
Totally agree.
This guy is just sick of it.
I swear to God. I swear
Seven raises, two flicks, eight fold.
And I'm not shocked Amir takes some more aggressive approach here.
Eight fold. 10 fold.
Really small 3-bet, which looks
It
really
is.
One fold.
Yeah, exactly. It's a small 3-bet, and with it coming from hijack cutoff, and what Derek knows, Amir is a very aggressive player. I wouldn't be shocked to see Derek just pill here.
That's what you said when I bet on the river. Yeah. All right, that's when you said you call or check 2 queens.
Yeah, I was mumbling a lot. Queen club. I could be 2 queens, so.
You're trying to get, when you call the 10, you're trying to get something straight right.
And here comes the call. We're ready to go to a flop. And king queen, you know, it looks like such a great hand, but when you get 3-bet and you're out of position, it's a very tough hand to play. And we're gonna see that here, where Derek's gonna flop top pair, and you know he has the best hand, but it's still a very tough hand to play, and he's out of position.
There's no way I'm getting in.
I do expect Amir, with having the ace of hearts here, to continuation bet. He's got the ace of heart blocker and all kinds of backdoor straight draws both ways.
7 bets, 250, 250.
These are always fun hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. Next time they try to color me up, it's all on green.
5 call.
I'm not touching the red. I'm gonna color down.
Five check. 7 check.
Three goes check check with the 9 of clubs. I imagine Derek will just.
Yeah, I think Derek will just bet here, and then Amir is just gonna fold.
Better yet.
Five check, seven
Nope,
check.
Derek check. Doesn't show up.
E6, E7.
Okay, sorry.
It's alright, I've got it under fixed.
Hey, Super Bowl next week. Pump you up.
Yeah. Don't worry.
It don't matter if I said 20th or 3rd. Half of whatever I made.
And there are 20 players left that did hit that page on. So now they're all guaranteed 3,900.
You had cash for 3,900. Would you have been even yet?
Let's on to the next joke. No, 30. If I cashed for 3,900, I would not be even on this tournament. Beside the
Seven fold,
I got to play a lot, have a lot of fun.
eight fold,
So we do, right? We play for fun, right, kid?
Absolutely.
All right.
10 fold,
You're playing for fun. You've already won.
Attaboy.
one call,
Never break it.
two check,
There's no way God make it.
one check,
You know he's got 4 million.
And in a limp pot here, Nick flops middle pair, and this is like we talked about earlier. You don't think either of them have an ace because neither of them raise free, and it's gonna be hard for Nick to continue here, even though he thinks he's gonna have the best hand.
We see the equity. Jeremy's a favorite in this end as well. But all he has is 9 high.
Yep, he has 9 high, and he's the favorite. LOL poker. Seeing the jack high earlier have 86% equity was fun.
I gotta get this 0.
Love these graphics, and you know how it makes our job so much easier.
You don't have all this stuff memorized, Ray?
Kind of. I don't know what equity means. Yeah, these guys, all of them, there are 20 left in a major tournament. They're just having fun and laughing.
five fold,
What would you be doing if you were playing right now?
eight fold,
There's a decent chance. I'd just be putting it in blind.
I believe you.
one fold,
And I'd be laughing the whole time too.
2 fold,
Making deep runs in tournaments are always so. This is actually my first tournament in about a year, so it was just fun to get out there and get back on the felt.
What was the last tournament you played?
It was actually a Run Good event over in Tunica, so
I was there for that stuff. We had a lot of fun.
yeah, we did.
Yeah, Run Good Gear, sponsor of this tournament series. You see it right there on the felt. Obviously, friends of all of us. Can't wait for these Run Good tournaments to start back up again.
Some of the most fun tournaments I've ever played in, hands down.
7 fold,
I hope you're listening, Tana.
How many brownie points is he?
All of them.
Oh,
All
good.
of them. He's probably busy opening bangers right now.
Just going to 0.
eight raises,
Hey, it's a free slide.
135.
I'm gonna go see what they're doing about that.
10 fold,
Player dogs, alright.
1 fold,
You can expect this phenomenal turnout.
2 fold,
And Chan raised it with the king
3
queen.
fold,
Around to Brandon, the small blind is who let it go. Derek's obviously not defending this hand. Unless he decides to.
Fireworks. We got.
Yeah, this is the type of hand I usually see Derek defend. I'm a little shocked here. I know I was talking about earlier how there are a lot of the high rollers think you just always defend blinds to min raises, it's not a strategy I take. You know, hands like this I like to hold, especially versus better players as Chan. But it's not something I find Derek defending a lot, but he does defend and check folds the flop. Luckily for him, it did not come queen high.
I knew it was things you just knew. I knew it was when I won 2 bucks in a row, I had none. Whenever I got mine, I lost about 7 in a row. You want to give it back?
Don't think you didn't do that intentionally.
Yeah, alright. Yeah. Just open with that one, and I'm going to put it in and just fold, alright? Alright. I can't promise all of that, but I was going to promise part of it.
Is that gross?
Bird was blind, right? Yeah. Whatever you want to hold true with that statement, you hold true. Alright, we'll do it right now. Big line. I'm going to dig that next second. Only right is what you do.
8 raises, 135. 10 fold.
He probably rather lose.
All right, we see Chan raise here under the gun with the 5s. And
Pocket 5s. What type of full house do you think he's gonna flop this hand?
I mean, he hasn't flopped a full house in hours.
Are we
Give the
sure
guy
it's
a break.
still Chan on the live stream? Because
You know what? When he moved out of his lucky seat.
Oh, that might be the case.
7 check.
And Amir flopping the flush draw here.
Alright, is the computer showing all the way up to the 125, 250 level, so we'll just see what 480 is next. We'll see what roll. See what happens when I roll those.
The 80 is
Really big flop for Amir.
Oh, no, it is?
Yeah, and again, as we see,
I don't know why I chose the one that's the next one.
the hand that is not in the lead right now
Ah.
has a better chance to win than the hand that is in the lead.
What do you holler, bro? You holler, Chan with a small continuation bet and standing up,
7 raises.
hits
365.
check raise.
Don't be playing.
Yeah.
There's some great poker being played on the stream today.
8 fold.
We've seen a lot of moves like this, and okay, I thought he was about to show him. He had way too good of a hand to show. I thought he might just like turn over a 4.
That would have been fun.
One of these days I'll take it. You can't call 1.1. What's up, Tom? These guys got the We're about to go to break.
Probably. That's what we've been doing. I'm assuming. You talking tables on the break again? Yes.
I have to miss the.
I'll put Chris on bar on TV, please.
All right, we see here a natural 9, a natural 9, a natural 8, a natural 8.
Monkey.
These are some good hands.
140.
And guys, I'm just kidding. It's baccarat terms. For those of you that don't play or don't know what baccarat is, it's when you add the cards up, it's the number it comes out to. Natural 9 is the best hand you can get.
Which is pretty much the same way in poker.
Yeah, I mean, you look down to 4 or 5, and Hayden didn't show his cards to us that time.
He was probably embarrassed that it was just a natural 7.
Yeah. And Nick has been on the short stack since the redraw and is down to 13 big blinds, which sounds pretty short, but it's still a workable stat. We've been talking about it. Hayden had 3 and 5 big blinds at several points today. He is the chip leader on the table. So you can't ever give up.
You just got to keep fighting for it.
Jeremy here with the medium pocket pair, as most people would call it. I call it a huge pair. He's gonna raise it under the gun.
150.
And again, you know, these guys know Jeremy's been playing pretty tight, and you know, I'm sure as the tournament breaks down, you start playing with the same players over and over on different tables, and he doesn't get out of line a whole lot. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Hayden just flat here on the big blind, even with a hand as big as ace queen.
I completely agree.
And Hayden does just call. And ace queen's a tough hand to play out of position, even though it's big. But it's such a big hand that, you know, if he would have 3-betted, it still would have been fine. And I think versus a lot of players, he would, but he chose to just call. And there's a flop out there. We can't see what it is yet, but it goes check and Jeremy bets.
Done call.
And Hayden's gonna call. And there it is, 10-4-5 with 2 diamonds.
Done check. One check.
And we go check. After, I know it's a jack on the turn. Okay, now we're catching up. And Jeremy check. I'm sorry, Hayden
One check.
does a good check, and they're putting it in the box. Hayden did pick up the great shot. We went check on the river and Hayden won. So
Looks like you rivered something good.
yeah, he rivered Broadway, playing 10-5-4 and backdoor Jack King to make Broadway.
That's what's supposed to happen, right?
I mean, it's always nice when it does. It happened to me once.
Ray, what's your favorite thing about poker?
My favorite thing about poker, winning. No, not acceptable. Not an acceptable answer.
I was nodding right now. I just wish I knew what that felt like. It's not often I win.
7 fold. 8 fold.
I like the relationships I make. I've met a lot of my best friends now through poker at some point or another, and I feel like I'm surrounded by some of the best people in the world that are my very close friends that had it not been for poker, I would have never met.
That's awesome. Gotta be thankful for those relationships.
1 fold.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
And winning.
Yeah, and when you win, you actually get more and more friends the more you win.
Yeah.
So.
People that I haven't spoken to in years come out of the woodworks and they're like, hey, let me be your friend. It's great.
Yeah, I used to have a lot of people like that, but I don't win anymore. I'm washed up. Can't remember the last time I won a tournament. I think it was Wednesday, but but no. All kidding aside, yeah, I seriously very thankful for the relationships I've made through poker, and as a matter of fact, I actually met my wife through poker. So don't know what I would do without her.
Five-fold.
Anyway, so Chan in the cutoff with the ace-9, and Nick on the short stack has been so patient with queens in the big line.
Here goes Shane. Looks
800
like we are going to have a run out, ladies and gentlemen.
10-fold.
Nick with a great call.
Oh, and Chan flops, and poor Nick. He's been here so tight all day. All day has been just waiting for his spot. He finally finds an amazing spot. Gets Chan completely locked up, and Chan flops the ace.
Here's the man, and it's very, very unfortunate. But
Yeah, very unfortunate. Nick, you played great, buddy. If you watch this later, you did. You had some really tough spots you couldn't get out of, and you weren't able to pick up any chips. So great job, though.
really grinded it out.
Yeah.
Thoroughly impressed.
Really did. Grinded out with that bust. That was the last hand of the level.
You guys leave?
They are going to again switch. We'll have a new set of players.
Put your player's card on your
After
chip.
we're going to take 15 minutes, guys. Hope to see you guys back with us.
A new set of players, a new set of commentators, and this
You're
time,
leaving me.
I am, and this time, we're actually gonna have face cards in that deck as well. So
I like it.
y'all stay tuned.
All right, you guys. See you soon.
You guys are going up here. These guys stay.